Welcome. This professional development is crafted to help you learn more about how the state of Arizona approaches English instruction for non-English speakers, otherwise known as English learners or ELs. My name is Benjamin Leach. Let's get started. First, we should define what an English learner is. According to the Arizona Revised Statute 15-751, an English learner is defined as a student in K through 12 education who, upon assessment by the AZELA, which we'll discuss later, has not demonstrated enough English proficiency in the domains of listening, reading, writing, and speaking necessary to succeed in the school's mainstream instructional program. This is beyond simply not speaking another language at home, but rather includes only those students whose English proficiency hinders their ability to learn in English. The Arizona Department of Education does not seem to have current demographic data available on their website. Their most recent numbers are from the 2016 to the 2017 school year. However, more recent data from other sources suggests the total number of ELs enrolled to be greater than 100,000 students, or about 9% of the total school population in Arizona. Data from the Arizona Department of Education reveals the top ethnicity and languages of ELs in Arizona. While a vast majority come from Hispanic households and speak Spanish at home, there is some diversity with other top languages including Arabic, Vietnamese, and Navajo. EL students are more concentrated in the lower grades, K through 4, but there is still a population of ELs as high as 12th grade. There are two main philosophies of English learning in Arizona, and that is structured English immersion and sheltered English instruction. Structured immersion is designed to help students gain English proficiency quickly by focusing the learning on English in particular, while sheltered instruction integrates academic content with English learning by simplifying the language of the material. In Arizona, the process they use is called the language development approach, and it is grounded in four principles. First, educators recognize the cultural assets that students bring from their homes and leverage them for building positive educational experiences. Second, educators design instruction that integrates linguistic development with learning academic content, differentiating based on their language proficiency. Third, educators utilize explicit language instruction to support students in learning how to engage with academic content in an academic context. And finally, schools utilize standards and assessment results to monitor student progress and utilize those scores to provide feedback on instruction. This diagram shows those four principles. The four principles of the language development approach are designed to improve student agency in their education, as research has shown that students feel more motivated towards success when they feel they have control over their education. The four principles provide avenues for this agency by recognizing student strengths and addressing their social and emotional needs, by providing choices for how content is delivered and how they can show mastery of said content, by encouraging independent learning and creating a learning environment that supports learning, and by providing meaningful feedback for students and providing opportunities for self-reflection. In their language development approach, Arizona utilizes a variety of SEI models, differing mainly on how long the student is taken out of regular class for targeted or integrated instruction. Newcomers have 2 hours each of integrated and targeted instruction, spending most of the school day with only other ELs. 2 hour utilizes integrated instruction by combining ELs with non-ELs, but still takes the ELs out for 2 hours of targeted instruction. Pull out takes only 1 hour of targeted instruction with only ELs and 1 hour of integrated instruction. Finally, if a parent so chooses and fills out the relevant forms, the student can be placed in a 50-50 model, where they have targeted and integrated English instruction, but half of the school day is taught in the partner language of the student. The identification process for English learners begins when they enroll at a school. Prior to the first day, the family must complete a home language survey to determine if the primary language of the family is English. If not, then the student will take the AZELA, as mentioned previously, which divides the student into one of five categories: pre-emergent, emergent, basic, intermediate, or proficient. If the student falls into one of the first four categories, they qualify for EL services. The student will then retake the test every year so that services can be reassessed until the student reaches proficient status. The ELs can have diverse needs, just like non-ELs. Should a student require it by having significant cognitive disabilities, the alternate English language proficiency assessment, or ALT-ELPA, can be used in place of the AZELA assessment. Besides this alternative exam, a student may also request accommodations such as increased breaks, simplified or large text instructions, assistive technology, or other accommodations, as you can see on this slide. However, these accommodations must be pre-approved by the state, and they must be arranged in advance of the student taking the exam. Parents have the right to know about their student's education and thus must be kept informed of their child's status as an English learner and the services they are receiving. Parents may choose to withdraw their student from EL services or request them to be placed in an alternate system, such as the 50-50 one discussed previously. However, a parent's choice to withdraw a student from services does not excuse the student from yearly AZELA testing, as the state must still know about the student's proficiency level in English. This concludes the lecture. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you learned more about Arizona's process for instructing English learners. These are the sources I used for this presentation, which you may use as well to get more information if you so desire. Thank you again.